Good evening and welcome to the August 18th, 2025 meeting of the Ann Arbor City Council. If you are able, please rise and join us for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will the clerk please call the roll of council?
Councilmember Dish.
Here.
Councilmember Harrison. Absent. Councilmember Watson.
Here.
Councilmember Malik.
Here.
Councilmember Medina.
Here.
Councilmember Ghazi Edwin. Absent. Mayor Taylor. Absent. Councilmember Iyer. Councilmember Ackman.
Here.
Councilmember Briggs.
Here.
Councilmember Cornell. Absent. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Can I please get a motion to approve the agenda? Moved by Councilmember Iyer, seconded by Councilmember Briggs. Discussion of the agenda, and can I please get a motion to add the resolution for community events fund disbursements from the fiscal year 2026 budget as DC2? Councilmember Dish, seconded by Councilmember Watson. Any discussion? All those in favor of adding to the agenda? Any opposed? It is added. Any further discussion of the agenda? All in favor? Opposed? The agenda is approved. Do we have any communications from our city administrator this evening?
No, Mayor.
Thank you. We don't have any introductions this evening, so we now come to public comment. Public comment is an opportunity for members of the public to speak to council and the community about matters of municipal interest. To speak at public comment, one must have signed up in advance by contacting our city clerk. Speakers have 3 minutes to speak, and only one person is allowed to speak at a time. For those joining us remotely, the city clerk will notify you when you have 30 seconds remaining and when your time has expired. Our first speaker this evening is Jeremy Haley.
Good evening, everyone. Jeremy Haley, Ypsi Township. I don't know if you heard, but were 6 more houses or wells in Silo Township that got tested positive for the 1,4-dioxane plume. So it's still moving. And that's what I want to kind of talk to you about waters. You guys are thinking about increasing density. I haven't heard anybody really talk about the water issue. And where is this extra water going to come from? Where's it going to go? Because to increase the size of the city, you need to increase the resources to that city, and water is one of them. And I don't know if you guys know how far the city of Ann Arbor water system goes to. But I know somebody who lives out in Sile Farms, and they get a bill from the Ann Arbor City Water Department or something like that. It goes way out there. So it just doesn't serve the people of the city of Ann Arbor. And I don't know, it's been talked about for the Great Lakes Water Authority to get water from them, because Ann Arbor Township's got the little mining operation going on that uses excessive water. Their wells, a lot of their wells there are being shot because of it. Northfield Township already has a bunch of big apartment places going in on the south end of it that's using, I think, 24-inch size wells, using so much water a day too, and people in there are already complaining about water. So I just wondered if there's any talk amongst all of you or the city administrator to what's the plan to increase the density but also get good access to the water that is needed to populate such a density. Because without the water, your density will increase. If you can look throughout civilizations, when people lost access to resources, the size of the cities diminished, and some of them virtually went away. So I just like to know what the city's plans are going forth with increasing the size of density with the access to water, because that's a good one to know, because I also know the people who live on the other side of Skyline High School, pretty much one person just stopped testing their well and said if it pops up, it pops up. At this point, I'm not going to be testing it all the time. Some other people in that area are. They need access to some better water. As long as people are sucking out of the ground to get that water, that plume is continuously moving underground to get to those sites where it's being pulled out, causing negative pressure, and the water wants to go where it's going to go. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Chuck Green.
Good evening, and thank you for letting me speak this evening. I come here tonight to speak against excess of the comprehensive plan and to speak for the trees. I'm a candidate for the city council in the 3rd Ward next year, 2006. One of my main reasons for being here tonight is to find other people who will be candidates for city council next year. This present crew in front of us cannot be the ones who interpret the comprehensive plan that they've put together. That would be a disaster for Ann Arbor. I will agree with all the density and flexibility for housing in this new comprehensive plan, but we cannot allow our precious remaining land to be destroyed by still more buildings and pavement. We accept the plan, but you can't take more land. Much of the character and beauty of Ann Arbor is created by the trees, the gardens, and the green spaces. Did you know that you're a racist now in Ann Arbor if you talk about the beautiful character of our city? And Einstein mentioned that the only thing truly infinite was human stupidity. People will begin to see that the cost of all this will fall right on their tax bill. This plan talks about balance, but this plan is what tips the balance against trees. What if you really love trees in Ann Arbor and you see a sentence like, quote, prioritizing housing development may require an easing of certain restrictions and constraints, or, quote, we will rewrite zoning code to remove barriers to housing development. There's no balance there. Just listen to it. The key is that there must be no reduction in building setbacks in the new residential area, which would strip out the land for trees and give it to the developers. You can boost housing but not strip out the trees and green space. If one city council, one period of the city council gets the hubris and power to rip out the trees and green space, later city councils will not be able to get it back. Vote Chuck Ream next year. Preserve, save Tree City. We accept the plan, but take no more land from trees and green space. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Ramon Harris.
Good evening. My name is Jake from State Farm. I'm joking. You see that? You get it. Okay. My name is Ramon Harris. To Mayor Taylor, in his absence in Ann Arbor City Council, I serve as the Associate State Director of Community Outreach and Engagement with AARP. I oversee the Ann Arbor expansion. I want to extend first my gratitude to Mayor Taylor in his absence, as well as council members John Malik and Travis Radina and Aisha Ghazi Edwin, with whom I've already had the privilege of meeting. And thank you for your time and your leadership in our conversations. For those I haven't yet had the chance to meet, I look forward to connecting with you in the very near future. In addition to my work here in Ann Arbor, I also lead AARP Michigan's age-friendly efforts across the state, helping communities design environments that support residents of all ages. I also oversee AARP Michigan's Challenge Grant Program, which invests directly in innovative local projects to make communities more livable. Both of these initiatives represent resources and opportunities that can directly benefit Ann Arbor. AARP's mission is to empower people to choose how they live as they age. Here in Ann Arbor, that means being a collaborator, supporting the important work you're already doing and leading, whether it's safer, more walkable streets, advancing housing affordability, or expanding accessibility for older residents and their families. AARP stands ready to bring research, volunteers, and resources that align with your priorities. In closing, I want to thank you again for the opportunity to introduce myself formally and for the work you are already doing day to day to strengthen this community. I look forward to continuing to build partnerships with each of you to ensure that Ann Arbor remains one of the very best places to live, work, and age. My door is always open to collaborate. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Katie Garvey.
Good evening. Ann Arbor is often thought of first as a college town, but it is so much more than that. I'm Katie Garvey, and I and my family moved to Ann Arbor 18 years ago. Our family chose to move here because of all the area had to offer. Our needs and wants are changing, yet we remain here because we continue to take advantage of all the benefits and resources. In 2024, Ann Arbor was designated as one of the happiest places to retire. As an AARP volunteer myself, and an older community member, and a geriatric occupational therapist who serves older adults in the community here, I recognize aspects that need attention, and attending to these gaps is good for everyone. Most people, including myself, want to age in place. Our preference is to continue with interesting, meaningful daily routines with loved ones, neighbors, and friends. We want to have choices to stay physically active, intellectually engaged, and socially connected. As author Robin Wall Kimmerer stated, aging is a process of progressive enrichment rather than progressive decay. And do city decision makers concur? Ann Arbor has educational, healthcare, and business enterprises which garner worldwide acclaim. AARP Age Friendly Initiative is an affiliate of the World Health Organization's Age Friendly Network. The city needs to create a living environment that builds and maintains intrinsic capacity across the life course and supports optimal functional ability for all. Demographic and economic shifts require us to look at how to continue to thrive. Sustainable communities offer access to abundant nature, quality healthcare options, affordable and diverse housing options, viable community mobility, safety, and intergenerational connections. The AARP age-friendly structure offers a systematic way to access needs based on current residents' lived experiences, collaborative problem-solving and prioritizing, and access to funding to help make hopes realities. A number of other Michigan communities have joined in and successfully enhanced livability in their individual communities. Ann Arbor is missing an opportunity for growth if we don't also. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Elizabeth Kurtz. Elizabeth Kurtz.
I only had like 10 minutes to prepare, so I'm sorry. I apologize. My name is Elizabeth Kurtz. I actually go by Lit. I'm associated with Ground Cover News. I've written for that publication for over a decade. Now I'm publishing my own magazine, which is called The Fringe. The reason I am here tonight is to bring attention to the people who are living in my situation, navigating life outside of mainstream. We refer to it as homelessness, unhoused, whatever you want to call it. One of the problems that I have is that Ann Arbor, in particular, has approached this problem, and it is a problem, an egregious problem. The government defines it as housing unsuitable for human habitation. When people live on the streets, in the woods, in cars. It may not be urgent to you, but for those of us who are experiencing it, it is urgent. And I'm thinking it would behoove Ann Arbor or any other city government to look at more than cookie cutter approaches to this, because there's a lot of bureaucracy involved. So that's why I'm here today. I'm often outside selling the street paper. I walk up and down the streets, and I've noticed that there are eyesores. And I'm not talking about people living on the streets who many have no control, most have no control over their circumstances. But I'm talking about the overgrowth of weeds. Somebody talked about Tree City. We have a lot of trees, but we also have a lot of overgrowth. And let's see, who was District 5 or Ward 5 near the library? I took some pictures just to kind of give you an idea if you want to pass them to other people as well.
If you want to bring those up to the clerk, she can distribute them.
I really want those people but everybody can look. There's serious overgrowth, unsightly overgrowth. And this is an opportunity to connect with people who are living on the streets, to give them an opportunity to work, be paid for the work, and get a rung so that they can get back into society. Low barrier work is crucial. People often say, get a job. It is virtually impossible to get a job when you're living in this situation. First of all, you're unable to do, you don't have access to laundry, showers, food, just the basic things that you need. So I'm looking for advice, guidance, and how to put together a program that would allow people on the streets to beautify the city.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is Kathy Griswold.
Good evening. If I look a little peaked, it's because I'm physically ill. Whenever we have a pedestrian hit and a bloody body in the street, and let's, be honest, we have bloody bodies in the street. It's not some hypothetical return on investment or trickle-down economics. These are real people that are being damaged, and in some cases, damaged permanently or killed because of our indifference to state and federal engineering guidelines and laws. So we had 2 crashes today. I think everyone probably knows that. I don't want to dwell on them other than to say neither of those crosswalks had refuge islands. Refuge islands are standard. The state law and our pedestrian crosswalk ordinance requires a driver to stop for a pedestrian on their side of the street or approaching so closely as to be in danger. It does not require drivers going both ways to stop for a pedestrian, but we don't really advertise that. So that adds to the confusion. Another thing in Nevada, there's a sign on busy streets that say, for the pedestrian, wait for vehicles to stop before crossing. That's what we need to do. I also want to say that I grew up in Flint, Michigan. I carefully watched what was happening with the water crisis, the lead in the water, Dr. Mona coming forward to city officials, state officials, anyone that would listen over and over and over saying, we are poisoning our children. And how many months did it take state officials and city officials to finally accept the truth? So when I stand up here, you can argue with me about the data, and you can argue with me about my tone or anything you want, but realize that we are literally killing people because we are not working together. We are not following federal sightline guidelines. We are not following state laws. I had to text something to the mayor regarding a large pickup truck that was right next to a crosswalk that we gave him permission to park there. So what happened? The city came and said, nope, you can't park there. There's a state law about it. There's no state law about dumpsters on the same block right next to the crosswalk. So now I guess we have to modify the state law to say no objects within 20 feet of a crosswalk, because we don't seem to have common sense. Anyway, school starts next week. It is going to be deadly. People are telling me it is the worst they've ever seen with the vegetation. 2 new friends, Raymond and Elizabeth, thanks for bringing up things that I care about, and I will work with them and anyone else interested. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have communications from council this evening? Councilmember Dish.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Medina. I just want to remind everyone and invite everyone who's here, remind everyone who's listening and invite everyone who's here or listening, that next Monday at 6 p.m., Cynthia Harrison and I will have a constituent coffee hour at the Lower Town Bar and Cafe. The special topic for the coffee hour is the comprehensive land use plan. And we will be happy to work with you with your questions and get some answers for you from planning staff who will be attending that meeting. So that's 6 p.m. at the Lower Town Bar and Cafe at the end of the Maiden Lane Bridge in Ward 1. Thanks.
Councilmember Malik.
On a similar note, I'd like to highlight and invite everyone to a joint listening session between me, Councilmember Watson, and State Representatives Jason Morgan and Jennifer Conlon, taking place this Saturday, August 23rd, from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at the Traverwood Library. We'll provide a brief update on issues facing Ward 2 and the northeast side of the city, and allow our state reps to provide updates on the latest goings-on in the State House. Thank you.
Any further communications from council? All right. For my part, I would like to first start by sharing our final council summer game code of the game season. This evening, it's A2 Public Service, and share a reminder that the city has literally hundreds of opportunities for members of the public to serve on boards, commissions, and committees. Please visit the city clerk's website to find opportunities that may interest you and consider applying today to serve your community. Also, on behalf of the mayor, I would like to request confirmation of the following appointments that were presented to City Council at the August 7th, 2025 meeting. To the Historic District Commission, Sarah Nisbet for a term ending May 31st, 2027, and Jenna Carter for a term ending May 31st, 2028. May I have a motion, please? Councilmember Dish, seconded by Councilmember Watson. Any discussion? All those in favor? They are approved. We now have before us the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Moved by Councilmember Iyer, seconded by Councilmember Dish. Discussion of the agenda, and I would entertain a motion to postpone item CA5 to our September 2nd meeting. Moved by Councilmember Dish, seconded by Councilmember Ackman. Any discussion of the postponement? All those in favor? Any opposed? It is postponed. Any further discussion of the consent agenda as amended? Yeah, with the exception of CA2, which was removed before the meeting. All in favor of the consent agenda? Any opposed? The consent agenda is approved. We now have before us a public hearing. Public hearings are opportunities for members of the public to speak to City Council and the community about the specific subject matter of the public hearing. To speak at a public hearing, you need not have signed up in advance, but your comments must relate to the topic of the hearing. Speakers have 3 minutes to speak, so please pay close attention to the time clock. Our clerk will alert speakers when 30 seconds are remaining and when your time has expired. When your time has expired, please conclude your remarks and cede the floor. Our public hearing today is public hearing number 1, a resolution to approve fees for fire department planning review. Is there anyone in the house who would like to speak at this public hearing? Do we have anyone online who would like to speak at this public hearing?
Mayor Pro Tem, I don't see any callers with their hands up for this hearing.
Seeing no one, this public hearing is closed. We now have before us the regular meeting minutes of August 7th, 2025, moved by Councilmember Watson, seconded by Councilmember Dish. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? The minutes are approved. DC 1, a resolution to approve the amended 2025 council committee appointments, moved by Councilmember Briggs, seconded by Councilmember Iyer. Discussion? I will note that this is to appoint council members Malik and Cornell to the Sustainability Commission. Seeing no discussion, all those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. DC 2, a resolution to approve community events fund disbursements from the fiscal year 2026 budget, moved by Councilmember Dish, seconded by Councilmember Malik. Discussion. Councilmember Dish.
I'll just say a few words because nothing is more fun than spending the community event budget. So our budget has been steady in recent years, and this year we have 19 recipients for whom the budget represents a continuation of support from previous years. We have 3 new recipients, Leslie Science and Nature Center and the Hands-On Museum. They will get an award to cover city costs for the Critter House event. It's not being held at my house, but there certainly are critters at my house. Then there are 2 grants to the Main Street Association to cover city costs for the A2 Art Encounter on September 12th, and for the Main Street Music Festival, which sounds fantastic, on September 26th. And these new awards were possible because we had a couple of events that didn't need to apply and so didn't apply this year. The Summer Streets and Game Day street closures have been taken over, the financial responsibility has been taken over by the DDA. So that gave us a little bit of extra money. And again, we're always grateful for the things that the DDA takes off our plate so that we have more pieces of pie to go around. So that's that, and I hope we'll all happily approve this resolution.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. DS1, a resolution to approve fees for the fire department planning review, moved by Councilmember Iyer, seconded by Councilmember Briggs. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. City Attorney Cord, do we have the pleasure of a closed session this evening?
No, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem.
All right, we now have before us the clerk's report of communications. Can I please get a motion to approve the clerk's report? Councilmember Dish, seconded by Councilmember Malik. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? The report is approved. Communications from our city attorney this evening.
None today, thank you.
Thank you. With no public comment overflow this evening, do I have a motion to adjourn? Councilmember Dish, seconded by Councilmember Iyer. Any discussion? All in favor? We are approved or adjourned.